A lot of unanswered questions. I did not forgive my ex-husband. I did not even forgive myself.
Yeah.
I didn't know that I can talk that much, Thomas. By then, I had so many stressful moments.
Could you just share a bit about yourself and what you do, what your background is, and how you first came across the work?
I got HIV when I was 23 years old.
You are judging me, is that true?
I have got 2 children. Both of them, they are from the EMTCT, which is the elimination of mother-to-child transmission. I gave birth to my child and got infected.
How do you share the work with people? How do you do that?
And it was not easy. I lost my job and I was jobless. As when I got into one of their support groups, they really inspired me. So they gave us the books, so many topics that had to do with self-stigma, like blame, shame, guilty, and how we can handle relationships.
What happens? How do you react when you believe the thought they're judging you?
It was more of, blame on myself, blame on other people. I'm so excited to really share that there's a crew of people that have been behind me.
I love that. The mind understands when it understands, and you just share what you have to share.
Yes.
Hey, Moud. Welcome, Moud. It's lovely to have you. Thank you for taking the time.
Thank you.
Let's jump right in. I mean, I've known you for a few years now. Could you just share a bit about yourself and what you do, what your background is, and how you first came across the work?
Okay. My name is Moud Chinembiri, and young women, or can I just say a lady, living with HIV for the past 17 years. And I got HIV when I was 23 years old. Due to some circumstances with my ex-husband. So I have got 2 children. Both of them, they are from the EMTCT, which is the elimination of mother-to-child transmission, which is done for women living with HIV so that they can give birth to children who are negative. And it has been a journey for me. I was born in a family of 4. And I'm the only one who is HIV positive in my family. It's not been easy for me and my family. It was a journey that we had to travel together. So I met the work in 2014 when I was introduced to the work with my aunt. My aunt was the first, I think, one of the first Africans or can I say Zimbabweans to go and to do the work of Byron Katie in Germany. And then she just saw the way that I was struggling with self-stigma as a young person living with HIV and also as a single mother. So by then, I had so many stressful moments. I gave birth to my child and got infected. That's the same year when my mom passed away. So I had a lot of unanswered questions to God, and I blamed myself. And I blamed everyone. I blamed God. And I saw myself as someone who not worth living. And by then I was a teacher and I had to leave the teaching industry because I could not focus. And it was not easy. I lost my job and I was jobless. And my father was not feeling well. And then I started staying with my father. I was like, the black sheep of the family, because in our culture, if you get married and then you get divorced, it's something that they don't really, see, the society values you, the society doesn't value you, the society labels you. So it was very tough, and being a single mother it was very hard. So I moved from, a lot of shame, a lot of blame, a lot of guiltness of being HIV positive. By knowing the work, it was a journey. It was a journey for me. It took me more than, I think, 4 to 5 years to really understand it and to also practice it in my life, and also live it now the way that I live the week.
Wow. Thank you for
Mm,
sharing.
thank you.
You said it took you some time to understand the work and to get into it. How was that journey for you? How did you understand it first, and how did that change with the experience of the work, and how did it click? Can you share more about that? I'm so curious.
Okay, so when I started knowing the work, it was in 2014 through my aunt.
Yeah.
So she was just teaching me about the work, but I didn't understand it. I was really confused because I was wondering why she's telling me all these things to shift my thinking, to shift what I'm believing. So for me, in that year, it was really tough. And then, but I was really interested in and keen to
Mhm.
learn about the work. So later on, when we're traveling together with my aunt, fortunately, we went to another organization in Zimbabwe. That is the Network for People Living with HIV. A network that is an NGO, a non-profit organization that is people living with HIV. So they introduced the work to us young people. So we're coming from different communities, different support groups. They had support groups by then. So that's when I got into one of their support groups. And then my aunt also helped me to also register as a member of ZMP Plus. And then ZMP Plus introduced the work. So they asked us to apply for the work. So I was just interested because I was really inspired by just knowing why are people. And then for her, it was like she was very excited and she was really free. So I wanted to be like her. So and then I went and enrolled for what they call the 12-week course that was done with ZMP Plus in collaboration with Troike and Connect, Zimbabwe Institute for Systemic Therapy. So when I went there, I was so excited to see so many people also coming to enroll for the course. And they were talking a lot, about what they've heard. And then I was like, okay, I want to learn about this. I think this might be exciting. Why are people so excited about this? So when the international facilitators from the work from Ireland, when they came, and from Canada, different countries, UK, I was like, wow, this is going to be exciting. So we're going to have international facilitators coming to teach us, white people coming to teach us. And then it was interesting also for me. And I was really excited to learn, but it took me some time because I didn't know how to shift my focus, to shift my brain, the way they were talking about. So I kept on reading the books that they gave us. They gave us the books from Byron Katie,
Mhm.
and I still have them because I always want to read them. They really inspired me. So they gave us the books. So I kept on reading and practicing the work, practicing it all the time. So we had this course empowered me because this course it had a curriculum that was like really laid down, and it only deals with self-stigma. It had so many topics that had to do with self-stigma, like blame, shame, guilty, and how we can handle relationships. So it was really huge. And also it had a lot of forgiveness, because I had a lot of unanswered questions. I did not forgive my ex-husband. I did not even forgive myself. I had a lot of bitterness with even my life, the way it was going. So it took me some time, because it was not just like today I just did the work and then did the turnaround, then I'm okay, or tomorrow I do it. But it took me some time. It was a process.
Okay, so in the beginning, it was really the excitement of other people for the work.
Yes.
It just intrigued you, like, okay, if there's so if they're so drawn to it, there must be something to it, even though I'm yet to grasp the essence of it. Okay,
Mm.
so Maud, what what were or can you remember like some of the thoughts that were that were plaguing you at the time, like that were so stressful for you? Like when you say shame and guilt around living with HIV, or actually, I don't know, like what are stressful thoughts even? Do you still have some of them? Just to give me examples for what those stressful thoughts are that like torment the mind.
Yes, because one thing that I realized was when I left the teaching, I was thinking that I'm worthless.
Mm.
I'm not worthy, being a teacher in front of kids when I'm HIV positive. It means my blood is dirty. I had so many mixed thoughts. It means that I can't do anything. It means, living with HIV, I just thought that even when when they are looking at me, I was thinking that they are judging me.
Ah.
They are talking about me. They are, looking down upon me, and so those are some of the thoughts that were coming. And there were so many underlining thoughts, like I'm going to die very soon. So there's no need for me to keep on, uh, looking for money or improving myself or going to school or expanding my education. I saw it as useless because I thought that I was going to die. And then I even look at myself. In my thought, I was looking at myself as someone who's dying. And then when I look at if I get sick, and then I'll be like, oh, I'm going to, this sickness is going to kill me. Or the other thing that was really stressful was I'm not going to have a negative partner. I'm not going to get married. I'm not going to, I'm not going to have children anymore. So these were just some of the thoughts that were coming as a person living with it. Those were the most, and like also like looking at myself in like being the only one who's HIV positive, and people talking about you'll be thinking that you are dirty. You are dirty, or because with our some of the biblical things you'll be saying, like what people preach, and then they say you have been cursed.
Mm.
So those were some of the thoughts that were just around, me being living with HIV at that moment.
Thank you for sharing that. So it's like okay, I live with HIV, and that means that, and then all the stressful things that it meant for you at that time.
Yes.
So you said that it took some time and even some years to be more free, or maybe totally free. I don't know, from
Mm,
stressful thoughts.
mm.
Um, and did you have any experience of, let me say, progress or more peace of mind even at the beginning when doing the work, or did that come later? Or can you recall moments in the beginning when you were like, okay, with every work it worked for you, or how was that? Like, did you see shift?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. It's like all the time when I do the work, it was like always like, it was like they're like, it was like, because, sometimes there's a time when I didn't know that I'm living with self-stigma.
Mhm.
I didn't even know that what is self-stigma.
Mhm.
So it was like an awareness, like a wake-up call for me to say, yeah, I'm living with self-stigma, because I didn't even know that I'm stigmatizing even myself. I was always blaming people, and I was always blaming even situations, making sure that I don't see anything productive in even a criticism. It was like, for me, it was like, okay, they are saying this because I'm like this. They are saying this because I'm HIV positive. They are doing this because I'm HIV. Everything was linked to that. I didn't even see anything which was like, what can I say, constructive criticism. It was more of, you know, blame on myself, blame on other people. So when I was doing the work, every time when I do the work, yes, of course, with the work, what it does, even now, I still have sometimes when I feel like, oh, I can't do this.
Mhm.
I can't do this. But, the work, what it does, it's like it's a wake up call for us to, if something doesn't go down with you, or if you feel any inch, like any pain, any pinch in your heart, if you don't feel comfortable, then you can question it. So I cannot say that thoughts are really like totally gone. Thoughts, they always come and then they always affect you somehow. But now, because we have this tool, it's like a gift that we are given that we can use all the time when we feel like we are clustered, or we feel like we are like in a vacuum, we cannot break through. We can just use the work. So all the time, when I was doing the work, even for the past years, it was always it's like a new thing. Even if I've done the thought before, like sometimes I would just wake up and feel, like, I can't wake up, I can't do this, I can't go to school, I can't. Was with in those years, I did a lot of studies. I also went back to school. I also, I did a lot of things, but sometimes I would feel like, but why am I doing this? Because soon I'll be, I'll just have that feeling that soon I'll be gone. And then I'll inquire it. And then sometimes when you feel like anybody else, you sometimes just feel tired. You just feel tired. And then I'll just question it, and all the time it was a new realization. Even if the thought is like 20 years ago, it will come back as a child. You go back to the same child that you were, and because the work really goes back, and then sometimes they bring out so many feelings that also overrides you, and then you want to question them. Yeah. So it's like always, all the time, it's just like, it's coming. It's really exciting.
Oh, thank you for sharing. Yeah. Okay, so it's something that for you, that in the moment it can be such a relief, and it doesn't mean that the same thought won't come again, but you can always deal with it in that moment if you with the work. Maud, how do you? Because I also want to get into the work that you do now and that you offer as a coach, as a facilitator, someone that is touching many lives with what you do. How do you share the work with people? How do you do that? Because from my experience, when I first came across the work in 2013, I heard it, I didn't understand it. I thought like 4 questions. I just quickly tried to do it in my mind. And I thought, oh, it's just another coaching tool. So I revisited it later in, I think, 2016 or 2017, when I also met you at the School for the Work of Byron Katie. And yeah, somehow it clicked. Something clicked. I understood it more as a meditation and an inner work, really, rather than just a quick mental process. How do you share it with people? These 4 questions and turnarounds. How do you? Yeah.
Mainly, what I've seen all the time when we share the work, when I share the work, I always want to stick, with the 4 questions, and I don't want to be, like a facilitator. I don't want to be like a facilitator. I just want to also be the student and also learn from, because what I've realized, even Byron Katie says it, that, whatever that comes with someone is also for us. So all the time when people are doing inquiry, I'm also doing my inquiry. If they say a thought, then I always find it that there's somewhere or someone that is done, or situation that I've been through, that is just the same. So most of the time when I go out with the 4 questions, it's not me trying to be like the I know with the I know mind. It's just like I don't know mind. And then I say, let's do the work. And then most of the time, I always want to just start, with them just knowing the 4 questions, like with, the 4 questions, and trying to make sure that they just answer them, the 4 questions, and just, putting it out to the world the way it is. So it's not, and when people do the work, as you say, it's all about meditation. Take time, and sometimes, people they might not understand it, but it's not actually entirely to us to make them really understand it, and really we want them to also take their time, because when I was doing the work, I saw that sometimes you don't need to be pushed. You just need to understand it yourself, the way you understand, and to try not to be, the facilitator or the international facilitator or the teacher, just be, the student all the time.
Yeah.
Mm.
Thanks for sharing that. I think that just comes with it's a state of really an open mind and trusting that the mind understands when it understands, and you just share what you have to share and stay in your own business in that sense, right?
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
Maud, would you be willing to walk me through one of your stressful thoughts or that came up for you, maybe with the 4 questions, to just get an experience of how the work worked in you, even if you don't have that stressful thought anymore as a belief, just to kind of follow the process of the open mind, how it was for you, and the discoveries that you could make with one of the stressful thoughts that you carried for some time?
Yes. The most stressful thought, and still really affects me, is that they are judging me. Yes. This one, I just see it not just as a person living with HIV, even at work, even at home, with even relationships, or with the community that we live in. So they are judging me really plays a big part in me. So all the time when I do they are judging me, I always find something, and it's always there. So when I do the work, mostly my number 1 is always yes, and my number 2 is always yes. And then how I feel about it, and how I
they are judging me, is that true?
Yes.
Okay, and you come up with a yes, and then they are judging you. Can you absolutely know that's true, that is true, and that's also okay? And then how do you react? What happens? How do you react when you believe the thought they're judging you? What comes up?
So what comes up is most of the time is like I'm just thinking like I feel like the world is crashed. I feel like the world is crashed. Everything around me is stopped. I cannot move, and even in my body, sometimes I feel numb. I cannot even do anything. Even I see the images that I see, seeing people, keep on judging me. And then if they judge me, then that means that also I have so many, underlying beliefs. Like they don't love me. They don't want me to leave. They just have this so many things coming up. And sometimes I just feel like I'm a failure. Yeah.
Okay.
And I see the images even in the past when people were judging me, be it at home, be it school, even when I was a little child, and I see even my mom judging me, saying that I've done this when I've not done it.
Okay, so that's all the things that come up with they are judging me. And then the 4th question, so they are judging me. Who would you be without that thought? Or what comes up for you there when you go there?
Okay, like maybe in my situation, maybe I can just put a situation that is really specific when, when you are when I was like at church, and then people were just looking at me and judging me about my status, saying that it's a curse because there's no one from God who has HIV, who can be or have HIV. So in that situation, if I don't think about it, I just know that, HIV is like any other disease, and it can, get to anyone, even if they are prayer warriors or not. And if they are, and I'll just see it, like, and I would, in that moment, maybe I would teach them. I would also give them information. I would really be cool and be, free to also talk to them and ask them what they think about this, and also give them information. I'll be, not, I'll not be judging them as well, because in that situation, when they judge me, then I'm judging them as well. And I would be, really be comfortable to share. Yeah.
Mm. Okay, so so that's who would you be without that thought? And then what comes up for you what turnarounds do you find to they are judging me and the examples that you find?
Okay, they are not judging me.
They're not judging you. Okay. And where does your mind land with that in that situation?
Yeah, they are not judging me. When I look at it, it's because they don't have the information. And I can't say they are judging me, but that they are talking from their own perspective of what they know, of what they believe. And it's their belief that is driving them to say that.
They're not judging, then they are judging me. They're not judging me, the turnaround. Yeah. Is there another turnaround where your mind goes with that?
I am judging them.
You are judging them. Okay.
Yeah, I'm judging them because most of the time, when people talk about HIV and maybe they are negative, we always want to also judge the negative people for being not HIV positive. And because in that moment, I'm like, okay, at least I know my HIV status. What about you? Have you ever been tested? I ask them questions, and then I try to bring them down, and then I'm judging them, and so it's like more of me, trying to, to also judge them in another way. Yeah.
Then there's one more turnaround to that they are judging me.
Yeah, I'm judging myself.
Yeah.
I'm judging myself when I, try to compare myself with them in that moment and try to, taking whatever that they are saying, and then I put it in my mind, and then some kind of like think that it can be true. It can be true what they are saying, because why would God give me this disease if I was praying all the time, fasting and meditating to his word? And because he said that, you'll be there for us. And then I'm like judging also myself in that situation and trying to bring myself down.
Thank you for sharing, Maud. I mean, just do you ever think that, like, if for you, do you make like a difference between, oh, that's a very big, like, or does the work differently for you with big topics and very heavy topics and small stressful thoughts? Although Katie says stress is stress, and I agree. Is that yeah? Does that make any difference for you at this point?
No, at this point it doesn't. But in the past, it was really hard for me to distinguish the two, like the reality and the thought that I'm just thinking that there's no truthness in it. Like, sometimes, it would be like I was raped, and then you say that I'm not raped, of which it was really hard for me to really, distinguish the two. But with learning and practice, I realized that no, sometimes it's all about, what I believe after being raped, or what I believe. This is a situation that has happened. This is true. This is a true situation. Like even living with HIV, it was really like true. Yes, I am living with HIV. And then what am I thinking about living with HIV? Yes, it's true. But what are the underlying beliefs that living with HIV means to me? So I think with practice and also, really being true to yourself, you can bring something that, that can be, be questionable, and then also see that no, this is just a thought that is just coming and it is stressing me, but really there's no need for me to be really stressed. Like for real, like most of the time it will be like I was raped. And then I say that, that this means that I'm worthless. This means that I cannot be in the community. This means that I cannot talk to anyone in the community, or this means that I cannot go anywhere. And then you can question that. And then when you go to the turnarounds, you realize that it's all about the mind now. It's like, it's just you thinking that you can't, but you can. It's not like it's the end of the world. It's not the end of the world. Because now, even living with HIV, I realized that no, but I am. I can be someone. I can go to school. I can also have another child, because later on I had another child living with HIV, and I forgave my ex-husband, and then we had another child. Of course, in time, I realized that no, I had another stressful thought again, that I need to stay with him? Do I want to be with him? Being the abusive husband, being the manipulative person, being the person who is not there for the family, the person who cannot take care of his family, the person who runs away from the family. Do I need to be with this person? And then I realized, no, I don't need to be with this person. And I questioned it again. It was reality. It was really stressful. Then I made my mind that, no, I think I can live my life alone without him.
Mm.
Although I forgive him, but I cannot live with him.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so wow, thanks for sharing. So it's like the first thing I heard from you is when there are, let me say, very heavy thoughts, or thoughts that I experience as very heavy, to that there used to be like the mind sometimes wants to close because I cannot go there, or I cannot question that. So then you would look at, okay, what do the thing that happened as a fact, then what does that mean? And then you would question those layers of stressful thoughts. So I was raped, and that means that I'm living with HIV, and that means that, okay. Then from what you just shared about your ex-husband, is that you would look at all, really like a myriad, so many thoughts, like forgiveness thoughts. He has done this to me, but then also like where you force yourself against your own will, against your better judgment, to stay with him, with a thought like, I need to stay with him. So it would just be like question everything and see what comes up as authentic and wise for you. Is it like that?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, because I had to question my thought that after all that he has done, and I forgave him, and then he came back, and then we have another child. Do I need to stay with him? Do I want to stay with him? Or do I need to do I need this? Or why should I do this? So it was like more of every step that I take, like now I've realized that even if I want to embark in another project, I'll just ask myself, do I need this project? Do I need to be in this project? Do I want to, take this project? And then I question it, and then it becomes so free. Yes, there are so many projects that I've let go because I realized that I don't need to be in this project. I don't want to be in this project because if it's stressing me, then I think it's not worth, the stress anymore.
Yeah. Okay. So questioning the I need to thought, like if you land on I don't need to, or you see that, then you find that, and it just gives you freedom to see if you want to or you don't want to, without that I have to, I need to.
Yes, I have to. If you don't, it's like you just have to have an open mind. Do I need it? Do I want to, or I don't have to? Or no, it's not supposed to be like that. It's like, you just have to have your freedom. You have to balance your freedom. Yeah. Because sometimes, we might really, really, really need something, but we can't get it. And you just have to be, sometimes it's not like you just have to be okay. Like, yeah, it's okay. I don't need it. No, but you have to question it. Do I need this? Do I need that? Or I'm not supposed to be here. Maybe I'm not supposed to be here. So, and it's God's business to be, in that or not. So it's like sometimes it's, you look at the businesses. Is it my business also to also be part of this, or it's not my business?
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. So where my mind lands usually with I need a partner, I need more money, I need whatever it is, like all the thought of
Yes.
humanity. It's like,
Mm.
okay, when I get very still and into this moment here now, then just the breath, being breathed
Mm.
and being held
Yes.
is the proof of
Mm.
me not needing that here now.
Yes. Yes.
And that does not mean that I might not invite that or want that or being open to that. It's just like
Mm.
the, uh, yeah, it relieves me of some of the heaviness and despair of thinking I
Yes.
need that, and I
Mm.
can see that's not true. Mm.
Mm.
Thanks for sharing, Maud. So, could you share a bit more about the work that you do? With young people and in your community, because sometimes I see you in newspapers and like
Mm.
all the things you move in the community in your country, and then also through sharing your work even in other countries. Yeah, please say more.
Okay, so after I've done so many studies, or can I say, so many, so many inquiries. After doing so many inquiries, when I went to the school in 2017, when I came to back here in Zimbabwe, I said, actually, when I was there, I actually told Katie that, I want to go to the world and share this to the world. People, they should know about this. Everyone should know about this. All the young people that are suffering, with, unquestionable thoughts, they should just know about the work. So it was like my passion. It was my goal. I wanted to go into the world. So I took every chance that I could get to actually, share the work. And, fortunately, it's like when I came back, I had another program that was also running with another organization called Troy Care. And then I realized that I also want to be part of this program. So I also became one of their facilitators locally. And then I went on to keep on studying. Luckily, we had a funding that was actually funding the international facilitators to come. So I'll make sure that I attend all the sessions, and I also go online, follow Byron Katie, know more about the work. I was also doing my own research about the work so that I can become a better facilitator, and also a better person for myself, and also a better facilitator. So as I moved on, so many projects, they were coming in, and then I just got, to meet, some of the nicest people at the school. And, you were sharing about the work with the young people in Pakistan and Ali. And then I realized that, no, in Zimbabwe, we have this gap. But I said to myself, of course, we have the work now, but we are having so many different issues with the economy, the poverty, the unemployment, sex work, the increased, HIV rate, the increased gender-based violence, and a lot of, substance and drug abuse. So I was looking in my community, and then I was saying, okay, how can I help these young people to get away from this? Because I want them to be occupied. So they are in our community, there's less of recreational activities, there's nothing. And then we have, so I also wanted to be part of the changing the community. But at the same time, if I go to the world with the work only, it was not enough for my community. It was just not enough. So I wanted also partners or people that can help me to also alleviate this part of unemployment and other issues that are correlated to HIV and AIDS. So that's when I also started, my own my own trust. I actually registered a trust with the help of Thomas and my friends from the Netherlands, Jonathan, and other friends, colleagues like Baru, and so many friends from the work of Byron Katie. So we managed to register this organization, and then, because for us to share the work, we're supposed to be, a registered trust, and then we can also partner with them different, partners here. And also we can also gather people. So this is how I started. And then it was just me piloting the program with the young people. So I had so many young people living with HIV, in my circles, because we had so many support groups. So I would just go and share the work and do what I think I know the best. And then we started also getting some funding to also help them with little projects that they can do. And then we started rolling out what we call the youth-led change-making program to also help these young people, be self-sustainable and be, players of the economy, so that they can alleviate poverty also in their circles. So it was like a huge, huge, huge thing that we were doing. And then, with time, we just realized there are so many people who are interested in our work. And then we partnered with so many organizations, also some organizations in Netherlands, the likes of Tildea, and also Germany, Yes Founders Foundation. So they are the ones who are actually currently, making sure that we also, share and roll on, the youth relations. So we have helped so many young people, I think thousands in Chitungiza district, Seke district, here in Zimbabwe. So we are trying to also enroll it all over, maybe countrywide, nationwide, and also regionally. So with the other work that I've been doing, keeping on practicing the work and also doing my own work, I was also part of the coaches that are enrolling another program here in Zimbabwe. For the past years, that was like the Wakakosha project, and we were also co-creators of that program with young people. So it was exciting also to be part of the journey of co-creating this project with the partners from Beyond Stigma and also here in Zimbabwe. So it was like exciting for me. And as usual, we always question our thinking as we grow and as we move, and then you realize that, okay, this has been part of me, so do I still need it? So sometimes you just have to let go. So I had to let go of the Wakakosha project, unfortunately, last year. And then I had to focus on the work under the Tree Trust, my own baby, so that I can also grow myself and grow the work that I've also started. So I've moved from different countries, also rolling out the other projects that I was actually doing. And then it was so exciting. And we've moved from different countries here in Africa. And then we've also gone, to also participate in big platforms like the International AIDS, conferences, and then the ICASA here in Zimbabwe, where we have so many countries coming to showcase the different projects that are happening to end HIV by 2030. So also growing my career has been some of the things that has been key for me, because it was something that I always wanted. So I also enrolled as a systemic counselor, and then I graduated in 2022 as a qualified therapist here in Zimbabwe. And this goes hand in hand also with my work, because it's part of also my work of being a coach and a therapist. And we can also introduce the work in our work. And being involved in HIV and AIDS active, I was an activist for a very long time, because this was the core thing that I've also worked with. So I've worked with so many organizations here in Zimbabwe. So I'm also now the board member for Pan-African Positive Women Coalition here in Zimbabwe. and I represent young women living with HIV in that seat. And we advocate for women's rights and sexual reproductive rights living with HIV. And also, I'm now like I'm in the committee for Mashonaland East, where I stay. Like there's, where I stay is called the Mashonaland East province. And then I'm in the committee for EMTCT, which is the Elimination of Mother to Child Transmission committee. So as a stakeholder or as civil societies and under public ZIM, we am also representing that seat. And it's actually an honor because there are so many, exciting people in that committee, like the doctors and, some of the important people. So it's some of the things that has been happening, also advocating for self-stigma everywhere, advocating for, mental health issues for young people living with HIV, because this is one of the things that people just don't look at. They just look at, making sure that your medications they are there, making sure that everything is there provided for you, all the services. But sometimes if I have self-stigma, then I won't be able to take any services because I'll be feeling worthless. So as much as these services are there and all the medications are there, but sometimes we see a lot of deaths from not adhering, and young people also giving birth to children living with HIV. So in all those platforms, I'm also advocating for self-stigma, advocating for mental health, or just knowing what to do with their thoughts.
Yeah. There are really a lot of things coming together for you professionally. Could you share with me, Moud, I think I know a little bit, but can you share with me just how youth-led changemaking, how that works and what you do, and how do you facilitate youth-led changemaking, and how do you integrate the work into that? You said those are like two of the components that you wanted to put together, if I understand correctly. And then there's also this advocating part, like getting the work out about the self-stigma work, and then maybe even youth-led change-making. Yeah.
Yes. So what I've realized is that when I was doing the work, I realized that, okay, young people, even anyone, can just have a thought that, no, if I want to start something new, people, when they want to start something new, they just have, like limitations with their thoughts. They just have limitation minds that, I cannot do this. No, I'm not good enough. No, I think I'm not worthy doing this. So even with the youth-led change making, it was so exciting that it's actually all the time when we have a new group and then we are starting a workshop, we start by doing the work because we know they have these limitations. So we ask these young people, what are their limitations? What do they think their limitation can be when they want to do an entrepreneurship? Because most of the things that we're doing with youth-led change making is entrepreneurship. And then we ask them, what can limit you? What do you think can limit you? What do you think are the feelings that you can feel when you're starting something new, or you want to do something new, or you want to spend money? What do you think can limit you? These two.
Yeah, that's so interesting for me, because that is, I think that's very universal. Even here in Germany, when I coach people with their businesses or startups, it's like you have this dream, you want to do something. But then, stress, like limitations, as you say, they hit you, and like, I cannot do this. I'm not good enough. And so it just hit me. Okay, this is very universal. It's not limited to people in your community, right?
Yes. So most of the time, these things they just come up. And then when they come up, we question these thoughts. We give them, the work, the tool. It's just a simple thing that we do. And it's just like questioning the 4 questions, and then they come with the turnarounds. And then it's really exciting even for the young people, because they've never heard something like that. They always say, yeah, we've been thinking, but we didn't know what to do with the thoughts. And then we say, okay, we have a remedy for you. This is a remedy that you can use. And then they can use it like all the time. Because when it happens, even when you question it, it will happen again when something happens. And then, and then if your business is not going on well, like for that day or for that week, you'll be like, so I'm a failure. So it's like those thoughts, they always come when we go for our visits. Sometimes those are the things that pop up. Yeah. And so the work is really universal, like what you have said. It works, with every situation. So we have realized that doing the work with youth-led change makers, it has actually helped them, their mindset. They are more free, they are more comfortable, they are more, open to share. And most of the time, some of them, when they come, these young people, they are really closed up, and then they don't even understand what they are capable of doing. So we also have what we call a talent workshop, where they can identify themselves as being like connectors, as being leaders, as being builders, as being, motivators of each other as they are doing their groups, because they come in groups, and then they've got group work. So most of the time in that group, we always have a motivator, we always have a leader, we always have a team builder. So it's all about creativity. And now we are so excited because we're also bringing the aspect of music, so that it can be exciting, and for these young people, they use it, even for their marketing. They become, more relaxed when they are dancing, and then when they are singing, and then when they are marketing their goods. And so it's really interesting also to join all those different, aspects to come up with a big curriculum or an activity that can be done, with young people, and then they feel, excited, and then they can push, in that excitement, and then they are building their lives in that same excitement. Because it's always boring, when something is really serious. It was really boring, but now it's like really, the atmosphere, the tenseness is just, go in the flow, because young people, they don't like things that are serious.
Yeah. Who does?
Yeah.
Just get used to it over time, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you for sharing that. And what sometimes I marvel at the project, or actually I often marvel at it, because how the work and youth-led change making came together. Because I was so inspired by youth-led change making, and then shortly after, I met you at the School for the Work of Byron Katie, and it was actually Byron Katie, I think, sharing with you about the youth-led change-making work that I was interested in. At the time, I was writing this book with Ali in Pakistan about youth-led change-making and his work. And then I shared that with one of the facilitators, or one of the coaches of Byron Katie. And then I remember sitting in the audience of the School for the Work, and then Katie said, "Is there a Thomas here?"
Yes.
You have some work that you want to share with us? I was like,
yes. What?
Yeah. And then I was so excited just to share about what Ali is doing in Pakistan. And I think afterwards you told me, "Hey, Thomas, I would like to take this to Zimbabwe and share it there." So it's like, it's somehow it's like a beautiful circle in my mind of just sharing amazing work.
Yeah.
So this is maybe one of the things that I also want to ask you. Did your perception of young people change with youth-led change making, and you seeing them get the results that they get, or how is that for you? Like, I'm just out of curiosity. I think I never asked you that.
Yeah. It's always like, youth-led change making is like really life-changing. Like with the past groups that we have done the youth-led changing with, it's like you see these young people, in my community, there's never been, something like this, like an organization coming to teach young people and making sure that they get the little loans. It's something like a dream come true for us. it's a dream come true, even for the community. It was like, it was like really life changing. So all the time, with every group is different, but the same result always comes. Like it's really life changing.
Mhm.
And then when we do youth-led change making, you know, it might not be on a bigger scale, because the money that we also give is like really, you cannot say it's small, but it's really significant, of course. But it comes with a bigger package. It might not, because the youth-led change making has got so many components in it. Sometimes we have leadership, we even train communication, we even train how to also handle yourself. You realize that some of these young people, even if they are shifting from youth-led change making, going to work or going to school,
Yeah.
it's like their mindset is really different from the one that they came with. They are more assertive. They know what they want. They can communicate better. They can talk better. Sometimes when they come, they'll be like really, sad, and then they can't talk. But, youth change making also brings that interactive a part where we also ask them questions. When we visit them, even in their certain areas, they'll be like happy to see us, because even the little things that we do because youth change making is an awarding ceremony. Some people have never been awarded anything in life. These young people, they come from very vulnerable communities. Sometimes some, they've never even received a present. So when we do that awarding, it will be like, oh wow, I've never received a present, I've never received a certificate, or even a certificate, just issuing a certificate. Some, they've never had anything like that when we do the graduation. So it's like really exciting. And last year, when we actually closed the last year, we had a big party, like a Christmas party. It was really exciting because they've never been to a Christmas party where they can dance and also be free to express themselves. It was really exciting. So youth-led change making, it might not come with the other components that we want to really see or whatever, but the little things that comes up with them, and that comes with the with the teachings that we get, that comes with the learning, that comes with the growth of the young people. And sometimes you hear them saying that we've been in the youth-led change making, that's when I decided, no, I should go to school,
Mhm.
or I should just buy my school shoes, I should help my mother, I should take care of my mother. My mother is not feeling well, so I've decided to buy these tablets for her. My mother cannot go to the clinic, so I'm the one who is now going to the clinic to collect the tablets for my mom. You know, or I'm now more responsible. They can, little things like even washing their own clothes. They're now responsible even to do chores at home, because we have given them, responsibilities.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks for sharing that. Yeah, I mean, sometimes some of the projects that I think the first time that you ran youth-led change making in Zimbabwe, I think was you gave like teams of three young people, like 3 or 4 young people
Mm.
together, like they each received $10.
Yes.
And then afterwards, you sent me a video of one participant saying, and I think she was the winner with her team in that challenge. Like they, in 2 weeks or something, or 10 days, they generated $60 from the $10. And
Yes.
then I was like, it was so, like my judgment mind was like, okay, what does that mean? But
Yes.
when you sent me the video, she explained, oh, wow, this has been a game changer for me, because I've been able to give some money to other young people,
Mm-hmm.
tell them, look, you can do something. And now I don't sit idly at home, and I can, contribute. So I was like, wow, this is really it's really a change of mind, and
Mm.
the money is the symbol, but then it can really also enable you to become more active and feel
Mm.
more in charge of where I want to go, and
Mm.
I can take myself there with through my own
Mm.
creativity and all of that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, thanks for sharing, Maud. Um, Is there anything else that you'd like to share that comes to your mind that we haven't talked about that you think, oh, the world should know that?
Yeah, I think, just being, this person that I am, I just want to also maybe let the world know that it was not just me, just knowing everything and being this big thing. There were people behind me that were very supportive, like you. You were one of them. Also believing in me. Because it's not always like people believe in you. Some people, they'll be like, are you crazy? What are you talking about? Can you really start this organization? Can you do this? Can you? So it was like even other people like Jonathan, Vaid from Germany, Baru from Germany, and Margaret. I also want to also give this moment also to Margaret. She has played a role. May her soul rest in peace. She has been always there. And I also want to thank all the Taldea crew behind. There's Romy and there's Peter, and also there's CS, Margaret's husband. He has been amazing, supporting us for the past 2 years. And also you and the crew behind you. There's Peter. I know there's Peter, also another Peter from Germany. I've never met him. And also there are so many people behind. I think they've never met me or they've never seen me. But when they see this video, I just want to thank them for being very supportive. I also want to thank Nadine Ferris France and the crew here in Zimbabwe. There are so many amazing coaches who have been there for me, Ronica and Sylvia, and they've been, helping me here, because when I do the work, it's not like I have also my mentors here in Zimbabwe, and they mentor me well, and they're always close to me. There's Gumisai Bonzo, there's Anastasia. These are my mentors. They've been my mentors for the past year, and I want to thank for the past years, because it's been tremendous as we have walked the journey, and there are so many people. There's Tendai Westhoff, and from Papwick Zim, and I'm so excited to really share that there's a crew of people that have been behind me. And they've been very supportive. There are so many people that I've actually not mentioned, but I know you've been behind me and these projects. And these projects, it's like there are so many projects. There's like projects. So it says not being entirely like Moud alone and the mastermind Moud, but there are people who have been also grooming me, helping me to be where I am, to be a better person. And also they've believed in me that I can also stand up, and be the person that I am right now. And then I want to thank them, because this is like my career has grown, even my life has grown, my life has changed because of all this work. So I just want to thank everyone behind the scenes.
Thank you so much, Maud, for sharing and doing the work that you do. I really appreciate it.
Thank you, Thomas.
What do you think? Are you satisfied with the interview?
I didn't know that I can talk that much, Thomas.
Actually wanted to ask you about your dad as well. I forgot.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, my family members who are doing the work.
Yeah, that's maybe something that I also wanted to ask you. You shared one time a story with me about your dad, like, and his, I don't know, like he somehow seemed to have absorbed the work from you just by listening to you. Can you share about that? I forgot the story again, but it was like,
okay. So when I came,
I think.
Yeah. So when I came back from the work of Byron Katie, it was like really inspiring. Even my dad, I actually forgot to talk about that. My dad was very supportive. He was like, this person was really keen to understand what I'm learning. My dad is a very good learned person. He was really learned. So my dad liked learning. So you would just see even my behavior, the way I was talking, he's actually my big fan. because this person will always follow what I do. So when I was doing the work, so I was telling him that, you know what you're doing, you're drinking a lot. And then I would judge him most of the time that you are drinking a lot, this. And then my dad would be like, no, I'm not. So when I was doing the work, I was judging. I was actually, being judgy about him. So when I started, doing the work, I started talking to him nicely than the way that I used to do. And then he was saying, you're changing. What's happening? That's when I introduced him to the work. And then when I came home with the books, I gave him the books and then he would read them. And then when he reads them, he goes to the bar. So he was spending most of his time at the bar talking about the books, not drinking. And then he was telling people that, at my house, there's an international facilitator. So if you have a problem, he would come with the people from the bar. So many people, if they're having fights with their husbands or if they are their wives, they would come here. And then I would cancel them. If they're having a problem with their children, I would cancel them. And then I would be like doing the work with them, doing inquiry with them. And then all the time it would just work out. And then my dad would be so excited. So he just started reading the way, and he was a different person. So when he was not feeling well, when he started getting sick, he was saying that from what I've read from Byron Katie and what I've seen, I'm not afraid to die because people, they have unquestioned mind about death. So when he was doing this, and then he was saying that I'm not afraid to die, and then he was saying I'm going to die a happy man or a happy father because of you, and I would take care of my dad more. And it was like I took all the duties for being there for him until he passed away. So he was saying that he was very happy. And then when he had an operation, when he had his legs, both of his legs were amputated. And then when he wakes up, when he was going to the operation table, and then when he wakes up, he would be happy. And then the doctor was asking him, why are you not stressed? Why are you not crying like others? Because most of the patients, when they come from the operating table, they'll be crying, they'll be stressed, they'll be like so bitter. And then my dad was like, it is what it is, and I'm ready to face whatever that is coming with with the reality. And then he was really composed when he was in the hospital. Even when he died, he was really composed. He was so happy. And so the doctor was asking why. And then he said, just to ask my daughter about the work, because the work helped me to calm down. The work helped me to be where I am right now. Yeah. So it was something that was really, something that I always also say to, sometimes when I face a lot of difficulties or when I face situations, I always look also up to him and say, my dad was always saying this, so I just need to calm down.
Wow. Thanks for sharing that. You shared that story with me, and I was so touched. By your dad. I saw him once on a video call, or twice maybe.
Yes.
I was really touched by your. Well, I saw your dad as a very humorous person on the calls. Had one or two jokes up his sleeve. And then when you shared that story with me, I was so impressed in how, I don't know, sometimes just the way people carry themselves, it can make such an impact. So it really impacted me.
Yeah.
And, made me look into a direction with my inner work that I had not looked at. And him recruiting people in the bar for
yes.
work, and that's just something.
And then he would just tell them that, you know what, you guys, you don't know the work. That's why you are acting like this. You don't know the work. If you can just know the work, you won't act like this.
I love that. May you rest in peace.
Yeah.
Thank you, Moud. Thank you for sharing that as well. Hey, the internet was really, really nice with us today, huh? Then thank you so much, and we'll chat soon. And if you have more things that you think should go on record, then we can do it.
Yes.
Okay, dear. Big hug.
Bye.
Bye, Star.
Bye.
Ciao.
Bye.